Today I'm going to be making a pear dark chocolate cake with a hint of fresh ginger. So I'm going to get cracking first with the cookie, which is what we're going to decorate the cake with. And I'm using my Kenwood mixer. And we're going to beat some butter with some icing sugar. So I've got 120 grams of room temperature butter there. I've got 45 grams of icing sugar. And I'm just going to beat those two together until light, pale and fluffy. You want to do it on high and just kind of leave it going for as long as you can be bothered, like at least 3 minutes. Grate that down a little. So my butter and icing sugar is nicely creamed. Now I'm going to add my dry ingredients. Some flour and some spices, some salt. Okay, so our cookie dough is ready. And we've got a baking tray here lined with some baking paper. And because this cookie is just a crumble for the decoration, it doesn't need to be, you know, perfectly rolled out or anything. Here's our cookie dough. We're just going to use our hands to flatten this out. Honestly, that's about all you need to do. As I said, this does not need to be a perfect sheet of cookie. It's just to be broken down for some crumbles. So we're going to get this in the oven. It's already been preheated to 180, and we're only going to bake this for about 12 minutes until it's kind of golden and a little crispy, but not too crispy. Alright, so that goes in. My cookie is ready. We're just going to let that sit to cool down. I've already started the process of making the cake. So the first step in this is creaming my butter and sugar together. So I've got 200 grams of butter and 200 grams of sugar. So we're just going to mix it on high speed. I really do recommend using a stand mixer for this recipe, just because you would never be able to achieve this level of fluffiness with you know, a wooden spoon. I mean, you would, but it would just take a very long time. Scrape down the bowl now, and you'll notice how beautifully pale that's gone. I've got 4 eggs here, pre-cracked into a separate vessel so that I don't get any shell in my mixing bowl. And these are at room temp. And just one by one, I'm going to incorporate them into this butter and sugar mixture. My last egg. Okay, that looks amazing. The dry ingredients for this cake can just go all into the bowl all in one go. So the last thing I need to add is my chocolate chips. I've just got 100 grams. And we're just going to mix those in by hand. Nearly forgotten about the key ingredient in this recipe, the fresh ginger. So basically I've taken a knob of fresh ginger and I've grated it with a microplane. So I've got about a tablespoon there. Look at that. Divine. Oh my god, it smells really good. Okay, I've got my 2 tins. I'm going to line them with some baking paper. And then we're just going to evenly divide the batter between these 2 tins. Spread that batter out to the sides and just get it nice and smooth. Finally, I'm going to just dot in my pear slices. So I've got 3 pears here that have been peeled and kind of chopped down. I'm just going to evenly dot those slices in. I've used 3 really small pears, so if your pears are bigger, just use 2. You could absolutely use tinned pears as well. Press them down lightly, but basically as the cake rises, they're going to be enveloped by that batter, so you don't need to worry too much. And in we go. So I have taken my cake out of the oven and I've let it cool down completely. So now it's time to make the icing and ice and decorate the cake. So I'm just going to flip it out. Oof. Yum. And then flip it back up the other way. Now we can make the icing. So I've got 150 grams of butter at room temp, very, very important. And I'm just going to beat that by itself just to make it completely smooth before I continue adding my other ingredients. a few seconds. Cool, that'll do. Now I'm gonna add my icing sugar. I've got 2 cups of icing sugar here. That goes straight in along with a dash of vanilla extract. And a dash of ginger, so about half a teaspoon. And we're just gonna really beat the hell out of that until it's really fluffy. This is the sort of thing you could walk away and do something else. Okay, so that's been going for ages, so now I'm gonna add my cream cheese. So it's important with the cream cheese that it's sort of being softened by being out of the fridge for about an hour. So I'll add about half, get that going. And while it's beating, I'll add the rest of it. If you beat this too much once the cream cheese is in it, it can kind of affect the texture of it. So we're just gonna get it nicely incorporated, and then we're gonna stop and we're gonna ice the cake. Perfect. Time to ice our cake. So we're gonna put our first layer on a serving plate, or in my case, a cake board. And we're just gonna do a nice big dollop of the ginger icing on this layer, and using an offset palette knife, or really whatever tool you've got, just kind of spread around to the sides. And I'm using a turntable, but again, completely non-compulsory. And just get that all nicely spread out to the sides, like so. And then we're going to place our second layer on top. Straighten it up. Now I'm going to ice the top of my cake with the icing that's left. And same process with your palette knife, just spread it evenly out to the sides, trying not to go too much over the edge, just so it looks neat. But again, do it however you feel. Alright. Now we can decorate it. So I've got my spiced cookie here, which is a really short buttery cookie, and basically just in any which way I'm going to break it up into pieces. And I'm not going to use all of this cookie on the cake, so you can save some for your afternoon coffee. And I'm just going to go a little crazy with this. I'm just going to kind of place it however my hands guide me. And even some pieces will be broken up into little tiny crumbs, like so. And you could put this all over the cake, or in my case, I'm just gonna do kind of an arc with it. It's really yum. So buttery, so good. Okay, so go wild, just go super extra with it. And then I've also just roughly chopped some chocolate chips. So these are the same ones that went into the cake, and you know, I'm just gonna do the same kind of thing as I did with the cookie, just get it on in there. And then, in true caker fashion, we're gonna decorate with some spray roses. So obviously these are completely optional. Maybe you have some lavender in the garden or any kind of flower, and you can just add that extra little caker touch. So I'm just gonna peel off the petals that I don't love the look of, and then just kind of stick them in. And then with a little pastry brush, I'm just gonna brush down my board to make it look pretty. And there you have it, my dark chocolate pear and ginger cake